Greek for the Greek podcast #1. Of course, you know I'm going to do the place I love and one of my hangouts. I got a lot of hangouts in South Florida. Prime Cigar, you hear me talk about it all the time. I love this place. I get a cigar, I watch games, I love the atmosphere. And of course, like everything else, I like going when people treat me good and where, you know what, they kiss my ass. Ryan's here, the owner of Prime Cigar. We've become friends over the years. And he's a great guy, and it was nice enough for him to jump in on this project, also with a couple of our sponsors, which is great, and we'll mention them, don't worry about it. You know me, I'm going to get my funeral sponsored, everything's going to get sponsored. But Ryan, what's going on?
Listen, we it's a good thing we're friends.
Yeah.
Because we don't treat you that great, and we have a good time here. Everything is good, listen, I always say that my worst day is better than someone else's best day.
I know, it's a great line.
And that's words to live by, right? So you wake up and your dog is chewing something you care about, and you nudge your wife and she says, go take whatever it is.
That's right. Could be always worse.
Your worst day is better than someone else's best day.
So
I'm having a great day.
Good.
Are you having a great day?
I'm having a great day. I'm having a great day.
I like my cigar.
I mean, it's all good. I like your cigar.
Yeah,
fine.
I get to look at my jet.
Ryan's a big Jet fan, in case you haven't figured it out. And like I always say, for me, when somebody's, they're buying, I'm trying. You like the Jets? We roll with the Jets. Very simple.
It, man.
All right, we're in South Florida, obviously, and we're going to be doing this all football season, all the way to the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. With Greek, same thing. There is no script. Let's talk about the Dolphins. Obviously,
sorry.
There was a big switch. Were you surprised? Do you think a new coach is going to make any difference? And would you actually put money on them this Sunday against Tennessee?
Interesting. All right, so
a lot of people are talking different things.
Here's my take with the Dolphins. Team has a ton of talent. I would take that nail today. I would stick that helmet on him, maybe pump up the puffers in there a little bit, but the team has a ton of talent.
Yeah. Potential.
It's got talent.
But is it that's the thing. But is it talent or is it potential?
It's kinetic energy.
Okay.
Right? It's built up. It's ready. I always say, you can what do you say? Hate the team, don't hate the player.
Mm-hmm.
Hate the game, don't hate the team. I don't hate, and you know what I hate? I hate this organization. I hate waste. I hate wasting.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen me run around the parking lot looking for some spare change.
Yeah.
It happened. I don't want to waste.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the Dolphins have talent. They have no organization.
No, bad leadership.
Bad leadership.
Every organization, I've always told people, it starts at the top. Whether it's Prime Cigar, whether it's the Miami Dolphins, whether it's iHeartMedia, whether it's a station, you look at the number one guy, number 21, making the decisions. Certain teams don't always win.
Right.
Why? You look at the Cubs. Cubs all of a sudden are a National League Championship first time. They got a new GM, Espin, did a great job, got a new manager, spent some money, right players, all of a sudden they're there. You need talent, but you need the right people behind the scenes pulling the chain. And it doesn't seem like the Dolphins have had that for a long time. It's all right, I know the owner.
You need direction.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, look.
First of all, I work with Johnny 6 days a week. He always said one thing about the Dolphins. They have no identity, and he's right. You don't even know what they are.
Everybody says, 72.
Yeah, that's what you hear about.
Look, 72, I'm pretty sure is 43 years ago because I'm 43 and I was born in 72.
Yeah.
They have the means, they have the way, they have a division that's either in disarray or heading in that direction. So they've got an opportunity. Look, if they could go, maybe not this year.
No.
All right, but next year, right? So next year or next year, if they were 9-7 this year, they got a wild card shot. You don't need to be 12-4 in the AFC East in the AFC, to
for a wild card.
card.
Yeah, but the AFC is tough. The only thing Brady's not getting older.
He's not getting younger.
I don't know. I tell you one thing, undefeated. I think all year.
He's unbelievable.
The team's unbelievable.
But and let me tell you something. And it's not because you look at the talent on that team, right? I don't even know this running back. Who's the running back?
Well, they got Blunt now. He was
the kid who ran for the touchdown and shed two defensemen that are 6'7",
they picked him up.
They picked him up. Yeah. They're probably paying him $400,000 a year. He's a nobody, and you know what he is? He's the guy that can run under everybody.
Yeah.
So you got to give Belichick, as much as I don't really, his coaching style, his intelligence, his ability to put together talent that fills spots is second to none.
Yeah, you might not like
second
that.
to none.
You can't argue with success. I tell people that all the time. You might not agree with it. There's things I've done with my company when they looked at it. How do we do it? Why is this? Why is it? If it works, it works. My best thing is I tell them stay out of my way. I'm a slot machine.
Right.
The only way I'm going to not work is if you unplug me. But a lot of times with Belichick, everybody doesn't like winners in all sports in life. The Yankees, the Lakers, the Cowboys. I mean, Cowboys haven't won in a while, but that organization thing. Whether you like Belichick or not, he wins.
He's a winner.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's a winner, not necessarily in spite of his team, because he put together a good team.
Yeah.
But he's a winner because his players put in 120%.
Yeah.
The Miami's players, they get on the field every Sunday and they go, oh God, another 3 hours of this. I mean, it's been bad week after week. Look, I'm a better gin player than most of the guys that I play with, but when I get into a streak of bad luck, I'm just waiting for the streak to end.
But the thing is, they hard filled him. From day one when I met him, and you meet him, like I said, if he was on Normandy Beach, we'll have mustaches. He doesn't seem like a guy. He doesn't seem like a guy who's gonna jack you up.
No,
doesn't have that.
Right.
But why do these guys are paying millions of dollars, and they get somebody like him a year and a half? It's something that a guy listens to a sports radio station driving his car or any radio station saying, I don't like this guy. It doesn't seem like he has it, and they waste 2 years.
So I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I think Ross bought the team to build a prison.
To build a prison.
Knock that thing down, sell the team.
I love
this is a great piece of property for an ALF.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
and maybe for condos.
It's something, you know. I mean, because so the question that you asked before was, are they going to show up for the new coach?
And would you bet him?
I'm betting him this week.
You are.
I
knew you would.
Only because I would never bet the Dolphins. B, there's only going to be one opportunity to bet the first game on a new guy. That's going to be the old guy 6 months from now.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I got a better shot at being the Dolphins head coach than he does. But yeah, I'm betting him this week because you know something? It's the first time anyone's lit a fuse in that locker room in years. Yeah. In years.
Yeah.
I mean, the place, if you walk in there, it still smells from Mangini. I mean, it's bad. So if this guy walks into the locker room and says, look, Chris Christie, right? Chris Christie goes into New Jersey 7.5 years ago, and he says, I'm a one-term governor. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to mix everything up, and I'm going to piss everybody off, and I'm going to do things that nobody wants me to do. And you know what? I know it, and then gets reelected. This guy's walking into the locker room going, guys, I've been in your shoes. He played ball.
Well, he's got nothing to lose.
He's got nothing to lose.
Not going to be the only way he becomes a coach is if they run the table.
So he walks into the locker room, and when I played ball and our team sucked, and we were 0-7 to start the season, the coach walked in the locker room, he takes our playbook, tears it in half, throws it on the ground, and goes, I'll tell you what, this week, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get back to basics. Keep it simple, right? The old KISS method. We're going to have powers, we're going to have draws, we're going to have blazes, blitzes, and flies. We have 5 plays in the playbook. Let's go out there and have a good time.
Did you win?
We won.
Did you cover?
Yeah, because we were 46-point underdogs.
So you definitely covered.
The wind up here is, I think the coach is going to walk into the locker room.
They'll be very loose. Well, when you lose,
and say, guys, look, what do we have to lose?
Well, what they have to lose is if they lose against Tennessee, the media is going to be all over them again. And the way their schedule is top heavy at the end of the season, they haven't even played New England yet. They got your Jets again. They got Buffalo again. They got the Giants. I mean, they got the Eagles.
Yeah.
They got a tough situation. I've said for a long time, Ross to me has done a great job with a lot of different things. On the outside, but it's always I want to host a Super Bowl. To me, I want to get
play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I want to get a team.
I want to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean that seems like the message. Every time you hear an article or him speak, we're doing the stadium renovations. It's great, but you always hear I want to host a Super Bowl. To me, it should be I want to get to a Super Bowl.
Agreed. And so I think that in the Dolphins organization, what happens this week in the locker room is, guys, let's not forget where we came from. Let's not forget that we're all elite athletes, and let's just go out there and have a good time. You know what, Tannehill? You want to stretch one? You get picked off. You get picked off.
Yeah.
Let's get back to football and stop with all this drama and politics and the front office sucks and the recruiting sucks and the coaching sucks.
When things don't go good, everybody points to it. Would you have given Tannehill that contract last year or that money?
I think Daniel's talented.
You think so? You think he's in the league?
I'd love to have him wearing green and white. Let me tell you something. And I give Fitzpatrick a thumbs up.
He's never getting
He's never taken us the distance.
Yeah.
He's never taken us.
He's not getting a commercial for Bic.
No. He might get a commercial
Maybe
for like
he could be a roadie for CC Top.
Burma shave cream.
But did he go to Harvard?
Yeah, in 1965. Right. He's like, well, I played 11 years in the NFL for 13 teams. You know, I mean, he
manages the game.
He manages the game well, and I think that, and I'm not busting his chops.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the Jets are a winning team in spite of their broken jaw problems.
They're better off, I think.
You know what will be interesting?
When Geno gets better.
Look, so the Jets play Washington this week.
Yeah.
We should win that game.
They're home, right? They're
home.
6-point favorite.
We should win that game because we're a better team than Washington.
Green on the green with that?
We agree? We agree? All right. Moving on next. So we should go into week 6 4-1. And we got to play New England.
Oh, you're gonna be checked up.
The only way that we beat New England is if New England gets struck by lightning as they walk into town. The only way we beat New England is if we get the Brady.
Yeah, of course.
And look, there's an any given Sunday factor.
Yeah.
But New England's got to be 9, 8.
Oh, are they home?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll be 9 or 10.
They're going to beat 9, 10 against arguably the second best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
Right. So if they're the best team and we're 4-1 going in there.
Well, you got Denver. There's a couple of
I'm saying
ones.
In the East, obviously. So and they know it's an important game for us.
Of course.
But
see, this week though, you got to watch the Jets because it could be a trap game. Because they are looking toward New England. You know, this is a game you can see the Jets winning 16-13.
Yeah. No, I agree. By the way, I mean, what's the line on the
6?
6?
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Because Washington loves to run the ball. They don't like to pass.
It's a lot because the Jets are only going to score 17 points.
That's it.
So you're talking about winning 17-10.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You know, I'm betting the under.
I think the under's a good bet.
I mean, the under's got to be like 11.
Yeah, I think it's 8.5. We're going to change gears a little, and it's something that I know, and it's a personality, I think, like yourself, like me, in different things. And Trump's running for president. He's got a big lead, and it's very unique, and he had the highest ever ratings in debate. I did bet the under-over on the second debate and won. What a good friend.
Hey, nice shot.
Nice shot. I had 12 million. No, I had 20 million. Excuse me. The first one was 24 million. And what is the phenomenon, the oxygen for that whole campaign? It seems to be him and everything about him. Now, when you put Trump on an island, if I'm the campaign manager, I put Trump on an island and say, come back in November.
That's exactly right.
Because he's good blowing.
Exactly right.
But what is it behind the people?
Trump is the big stack in a poker tournament who should go to the bathroom and not come back until it's he and the other guy.
That's it. But he won't do that.
He won't do that, and unfortunately, you know.
I mean, you even hear people. You know, it surprises me. Like I said, you can't argue with the numbers. The most they ever had people watching the debate was 7 million people ever. I watched the debate. And so it's that factor of him, and he's great.
Because apparently there was a DNC
last week
debate last week.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I did see because I was flipping through the channels.
Yeah.
And what I did see is I saw a guy from Brooklyn, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
And all I saw was Anderson Cooper say to Bernie Sanders, "What do you have to read? How do you want to respond to
Hillary?
To Hillary Clinton's challenge?" And his response was, "I'm with her."
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
I didn't get the numbers yet for that. I know.
If they count me because I was channel surfing and I saw him and I go, first of all, he sounds like Larry David's character playing George Steinbrenner in Seinfeld when he goes, "George, I need a sandwich. I need a sandwich right now." Every time I was listening to his voice, I was going, "Wow, you know, this is actually."
But do you think Trump has it?
I don't think Trump has it, and I'll tell you why.
And you think he's gonna he'll end up fading?
Yeah, he'll.
Really?
First of all, I don't think that he can get. So I'm a Republican, you know that.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you.
And look, and I respect Trump's business prowess.
Yeah.
I absolutely respect
his
bill and the whole thing. Let me tell you something. You and I both, as legitimate businessmen running legitimate businesses, we pay as little taxes as the federal government's guide and the federal government's rules will allow us to pay. I paid taxes 2 days ago, right? For 2014, I filed my taxes and I wrote my check. The whole thing with Trump went bankrupt. He's just using the code legally. So that is, to me, that's off the table. It's an absurd. It's like talking to Hillary. It's like talking to Hillary about Bill's stuff. 15 years ago. It's pointless. That being said, the Republican Party is so divided at its base.
Sure.
So I don't think that giant red spot in the middle of the country has it in them to nominate him.
Yeah.
Now, if he were nominated as the
a couple of his
Republican-
campaigns, though, in the middle of the country, you got a lot of people.
If he were nominated, and it also depends on who he's going against, right? If he were nominated, the question is, could he win?
Could he beat Hillary?
Oh God, no.
You don't think so?
No.
Really?
She's bulletproof. She can drop dead tomorrow and still get elected.
I don't know, with those pantsuits? I mean, I don't know. Now, how about him, last week Hillary stopped by for Saturday Night Live. Years ago, politicians did nothing like this.
Never did.
They even went near it. It was
Now they're all over Jimmy Kimmel and they're all over.
Yeah, and it started with Clinton years ago on City Hall. Do you think that's something?
Yeah.
Because you're actually making fun of yourself, but don't you think that shows that human side?
It shows that you have a human side.
Yeah, of course.
It shows that you can connect with. You don't need to connect with the base. You need to connect with the fringe.
Sure.
Right. So he goes on Saturday Night Live and he busts his own chops and he puts on a big yellow wig
Yeah.
and blah blah. You know, look, you have to say to people, look,
I'm real.
I'm real.
And
I'm
I'm one
a
of
human
you.
being, and I want you to connect with me. Do I think that there's huge value in all of these candidates touching a young audience through SNL and through Fallon
Social
and
media.
Kimmel and social media? Of course, because that's the fringe. It's likely that whoever gets the nomination, the Republican Party, is going to win Arkansas.
But it seems like with Trump, I think a lot of people that I hear say, his whole campaign is let's make America great. Let's bring America back. I don't need this. It's like he's doing you a favor. I got my money. I'm just stepping out.
Right.
And there was a guy in New York who did very well as a mayor. Mayor Bloomberg had the same thing. He used to pay himself a penny a week, penny a year.
Yep.
And a lot of people felt that appeal too, because I think we're all the same thing. Politicians, we feel like we get snowed. We just do. Whether it's a stereotype or not, stereotypes are a little true sometimes.
There's a little truth behind every joke,
Yeah.
right? And stereotypes are essentially jokes. So Trump is doing is building Trump value.
Sure.
All he's doing is building Trump value, and there's plenty of it already, and now there's more of it. I think if the Republicans want to win, I think that there has to be a real ticket, and if you want my opinion on the real ticket, I'll give you my opinion on the real ticket. I think the real ticket has to include Marco Rubio. I think Kasich has no shot because it doesn't even appear that he's alive, but he's likely one of the better people for the job because he really understands politics. Rubio, I don't know Rubio personally, I've met him a couple of times, but one of Rubio's key guys is a very, very, very close friend of mine.
Okay.
And it's likely we're going to do something here campaign-wise, but I will tell you that Rubio is probably the brightest guy on the dais. He understands politics and he's young. So Rubio is, to me, a great candidate for VP.
Okay.
Who's the quarterback? Carly Fiorina.
You think really? Wow.
Look at what she's done.
Look
at
you were a Packer. The whole thing.
I mean, she's done, and so I think that if you like Trump, you like him because he's a businessman.
And he's got that arrogance.
He's got that
appeal.
But
what do you think it'd be great over different countries?
Right. I think we should elect him to succeed Kim Jong-un. He'd be great in North Korea.
Oh my God, Nikes.
I've been play basketball with him.
Everything would be fine. We got a lower price on Nikes. It is definitely unbelievable though. Like I said, when it's touching me, I never watched the debate, and I've looked at it and I said, wow. And I've always liked Trump. Years and years ago, I met him at a book signing. He's got that. Some people have it.
He's got gravitas. He's tenacious. He's a big guy. I mean, you met him. He's a large human being.
Oh yeah, and he has that confidence.
Yeah.
And I also think a lot of people, other people on the debate, and they also want. It's like a teacher when you don't know the answer. They don't want him to come after him. Because he's tenacious.
Yeah.
He'll tweet you 2 in the morning.
Right.
I don't think he's one of those guys got somebody tweeting for him.
So, someone on the dais could say something really intelligent and then essentially put it to him, and his response is, "You're a dummy."
That's it.
And he wins. You're a dummy, and I win.
And he walks away. He doesn't.
He walks away.
Yeah.
And then he goes like this: "Told you, dummy."
That's it.
I mean, that's his.
Well, one of the biggest things in the first debate that really struck a lot of people, me too. He said, "Look, and I believe in this. If I give you money as a politician, I expect a favor." And then he goes, and I've given a lot of people on this stage money. And everybody went back. I mean,
in fact, I'm giving all of you money.
That's right. So
endorse me.
That's right, but that's why you do give money. I mean, it's pretty real. Right. People don't want to be like that. They think it's Paramount Lot 6. It's all big act. Oh, it's not true. No, I'm giving you money because when I want a favor, you do it.
I think the only way that he can get the nomination and the only way that he can win, and there's a path, right? So my belief is that the path for him to be the next president is to right now start building his cabinet, building his advisors, and come out publicly and say, don't debate me on political issues. I don't know the first thing about international politics.
But
I'm not a politician. I'm a team builder, and this is who I have around me right now, and this is who I'm going to have around me. So if he right now starts coming out and gets people to commit to him, to be his advisor in the cabinet, he builds the right team, he go all the way.
Awesome. This is Greek Podcast 1. Like I said, there's no game plan. We do whatever we want. We would not do any of this stuff, whether it's here, Real Radio, iHeartMedia, without our sponsors. Our sponsor.
I think we failed to mention some sponsors. So obviously, Basado Tequila, who is a former NFL player, the guy who runs it, a former NFL player, Alonzo Pierce, a good friend of mine, makes a great product. We have 3 bottles of Basado Tequila sitting here right now. You don't see them because we drank them all yesterday. We threw the bottles away.
That shows it's a good product.
That's how good it is.
Yeah.
We literally drank all 3 bottles. And I said to my manager, I go, where's my bottles? He goes, well, we drank them. I said, but that we could have filled them with water. Nobody on the other side would know that.
Yeah, but they're gone.
They're gone.
It's
great.
That's good.
Great stuff.
That's good.
You'll see it next week.
Next week we'll definitely have it. And if you don't have sponsors, you don't have anything. Podcast, halftime, I'm going to get a shoe shine. I'll be back. Peace. Great Podcast 1. Halftime's over. I got my shoe shine. I'm with my boy Brian from Cigar. Like I said earlier, there is no game plan. We talk about anything. The one thing we like to talk about, well, I do anyway, is always about money. We need our sponsors, obviously.
Basado Tequila. I mean, like we said, we drank it all, and I have no hangover.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I drank a lot of water with it. You got to hydrate.
Yeah.
No, Basado is a great sponsor. Davidoff Cigars, which I think we're both smoking right now. It just so happens that we're enjoying a Davidoff cigar. And the Jets are not a sponsor, but of course we love them, so we talk about them.
And they're playing Washington this week.
So.
It's gonna be great. We'll finish up with always picking the games.
Yeah, no. I mean, and actually next week Alonzo's going to be here. I just spoke to him a while ago, so he'll join us next week, and we'll talk about how the NFL has changed. We'll talk about tequila and how tequila's changed.
That's great.
And I don't know if you know, but Basado Tequila has an aphrodisiac in it. That's what sets it apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you drank it. Is it the shade? It's going to give you a
You
kick.
know what? I felt a little bit.
It's like 3rd and 1 and gets you the first down.
I didn't feel like Lamar Odom does, but it's not as good as Viagra, but it's definitely it's definitely got a little interesting kick to it.
Well, let's go to Lamar. It is a sad story.
I shouldn't have made a joke about it. Lamar and his family, I apologize, but I got to tell you something. Go big or go home, right?
Yeah. He ended up having a wild weekend in a brothel in Vegas. Supposedly, drinking. Now the 911 call saying possibly some cocaine involved. Allegedly, all this stuff. It's just a shame because the guy had a great career. I mean, played ball. I don't think a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to be a pro. And even when see people on the bench, oh, he sucks. No, he's a pro.
He's a pro.
He's getting paid.
He's the best of the best of the best elite athlete, and the worst pro is still a 0.1% athlete. The best of the best.
And you look at him, and he won the 6th Man of the Year award, 2011 with the Lakers, won the championship, U.S. Olympic. I mean, gold medal, the whole thing. And he just.
But do you think it's difficult to maintain that persona? Do you think that's why these guys implode? They implode financially. They implode socially. They implode, and I mean the spotlight is on them all the time.
Yes.
Is it more fun to be a pro athlete, or is it more difficult?
I think it really is just like you and me. It's your personality because anything can be difficult. What I do, I've been blessed to work for iHeart and be involved in media for 15 years, and we're like 1/1,000th, I think, of what they are. Maybe not even a comparison, but you have to realize I represent my company.
Sure.
I am a brand. So when you are out there, but I don't have those demons.
But we're fighters. We're fighters for greatness. I mean, Prime Cigar. Not to plug my organization, but Prime Cigar there's a lot of moving parts in this business.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts. I spent 20 years in the banking business, so my background is financial. But for 5 years we've had Prime Cigar. We got our place in Jersey. We're opening our place in Miami. We're building a brand, right? But when you talk about greatness, you talk about elite athletes. You talk about a guy like Lamar. Not only has he been the best of the best of the best through his, all the way getting up to the point where he was a pro, you have to maintain that. You have to maintain that intensity.
Well, I think it's also hard, like I said, as an individual. They get the world thrown at them. I mean, and that's where I think, like I was going to go, I've been very blessed in my life. Experienced a lot of things that most people don't. I've been blessed in a lot of ways. But to that level, everything is just unbelievable. Everything's thrown at you.
Everything is high level. Everything is the most intense.
That's right. Private jets, yachts, money, girls, drugs, whatever you want. So it's tough. I think when he got involved with the Kardashian, obviously he got married to her. He ended up leaving the Lakers. He started having some problems. He played down for the Heat a couple years ago.
Right.
I think it just spiraled. But I think what happens with athletes is that the people around them, that's the main thing. Like, you own the place. You're the owner, and you got other people involved and stuff like that. But it takes a real strong person to say, hey, Ryan, that shirt don't match.
Right.
And that's what those guys don't have.
Right.
Even in your
reality
life.
checkers.
Yeah, well, you need that even in life.
Absolutely.
You know what? I don't want everybody who says yes to me. And I told my bosses many times we have conversations, because every time we sit down, we just don't agree because we're thinking different. Right. I don't want it. I'm not going to sit here and kiss your ass and tell you it's great. If I think it's great, let's run with it. I'm over the hill with a plan.
But I also think that these guys, when they're on their way up, they don't even pay attention to the pariahs, to the people that are leeching on, that are sucking them dry. And then when they get into cruise control, when they retire, whatever it may be, and if they're not endorsed and they're not, you look at a guy like Michael Jordan, right? I mean, he's still a star. He'll always be a star.
Yeah.
But
he's a brand, and he's smart.
Endorsed, and he's a brand.
Yep.
And Lamar was a star, but quite honestly, on the way up, you're dragging up so much weight that when you say, you know what, I've done it all. I've been Olympic gold medalist. I've been a professional athlete. I've played for the best teams. I've got the national championship ring. I've got all this stuff. I don't want to chill out. I think you probably have a lot of secondary and tertiary individuals that you supported and helped on the way up. That are going, hey, what are we doing now?
Oh, let's keep the train going. True.
So
we got to keep going. We don't want to take it off the tracks.
Right. There's pressure.
Yeah, it always is sad when something like this happens. Hopefully things work out. Who knows? The reports are not good.
It's not good.
Yeah,
it's not good.
But you look at it. But the people around him, again, I like anything. If you have any friends or family, when a problem's when it hits bad, it started someplace.
Yeah, sure.
You didn't end up in debt $1 million. At one time, it was $100,000.
It was $1.
Yeah,
I mean, there
was something. And you got to. And these guys don't listen. The same thing with drinking and drugs. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. So I really don't know. So I can't say. But it was such a bad demon that affected him, hurt him, and destroyed his career at the end, and now we're his life.
And I think that it's the nature of a professional athlete to do everything at a high level.
Sure.
They don't know how to be mediocre.
Yeah.
I mean, there's maybe a kicker here and there.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about a rock star athlete, they don't do anything.
No.
It's go big or go home.
That's right. And it's just like he did. He was there 3 days, hanging out with girls, and then his ex-wife Kardashian, she goes to his bedside. That's amazing. Now you can imagine if that happened to you, you got caught in a rock.
My wife would be punching me in the face.
She'd be like, "You better die."
You're done. She'd be like, "Oh, you need this hose?" But you know what? I guess there's a Jewish term called Rachmanis, right? Rachmanis is you have to have a little bit of heart.
Yeah.
You got to be able to look past the bad decision when someone's hurt.
Of course.
Right. So I think that although if he recovers, he's going to have some stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
But you still.
But I don't think anybody was surprised.
No one's judging him by that day.
Yeah,
the guy's a superstar.
That's right. Not now. No, you're pulling for him. You're hoping. But nobody could say when they heard about it on the radio, TV, or read the paper, you're surprised. Because for the last year, is my point, he's been spinning out of control.
He's been out of control.
And nobody around him strong enough could have said, hey, you got a problem. Hey, there's going to be something.
But by the way, is it incumbent on professional athletic organizations like the NFL, like the NBA, like MLB and hockey? Those organizations have an obligation, I think. So when we unfortunately sometimes have to fire someone from iHeart. I got to fire someone from here. You have an exit interview. You talk about how they're going to deal with the next phase of their life.
Yeah.
So I think the NFL and I think the NBA, I don't think they do a very good job
of
dealing with, but I think they should.
Yeah, you're right. But it's like a piece of clothes to them. We had you, we gave you millions, you played ball. What's your problem? You know what I mean? You got signed, you did this, you got a problem. And when he started really spinning out of control, he had a tryout about a year ago with the Knicks.
Right.
Phil Jackson brought him in. He didn't make it, and then he just spun out of control. Again, you got millions of dollars. You're in Beverly Hills. You're hanging out in Vegas. You're going to get in trouble. Idle time. Another thing, the one thing I always hear all the athletes say in all sports is, my whole day was planned. Whole day. One of your New York Jet guys for years, number 80.
In order to keep him out of trouble,
Yeah.
he had breakfast, lunch, dinner, workouts, bedtime.
And who am I speaking about? I forget his name right now.
8.
Number 80, the receiver for years.
Toon?
No, not Toon.
Toon was,
88. The kid from Hofstra.
Oh, Corbett.
Yeah.
Turbin.
Yeah, and he was great. And he had some problems, but he said in his interview.
Right.
And again, his name
I
eluded me.
thought you were talking about superstars. I thought Corbett.
He was awesome.
He was a great slot guy.
Oh, he's awesome.
Great slot.
But he said, I saw an interview with him because he had some problems and he got involved in Wall Street.
Yeah.
Segment I want to talk to you about. We get to it today. Great. If not, we got podcast too. Where he said my whole day was planned, and you hear that. So when the day isn't planned for a lot of people, you wake up and you're like, what am I doing?
Idle hands at the devil's workshop?
Yeah, I know myself. But a lot of times people say, oh, you're working, you're doing this, good. You know, it keeps me out of trouble. A lot of times, I don't take vacation. You know why?
Right.
A, I think my life's vacation. B, when I'm on vacation, you're just going to do more and spend more.
Right. We get to sit around here and talk about nothing.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm
working right now. I'm working.
So what? Yeah, I mean, look, I spent 20 years of my life in the financial services business.
Yeah, I want to ask you
running a trade desk and hiring athletes, because we were, what I did, and I don't want to get into the whole thing, but what I did, I was a wholesale trader, I was a market maker. When you see the little thing go across the bottom of the screen,
but what is the big appeal, do you think, to the average person in Wall Street? That little charisma, people feel, movies, this, that, even kids growing up.
There's a couple of things. First of all, it's a controlled lottery, right? So I could go and buy a lottery ticket, and I know that I'm 57 million to 1 against.
Yeah.
But if you walk into it, like there was a guy, Peter Lynch, who's a famous money manager. He would walk into a store and he would say that the only way to buy stocks is if the registers are ringing. You buy what you feel, you buy what you know, and then you get to be part of a fan club, right? So Home Depot. There were people that were Home Depot fans that for their annual meeting, people would show up. It was like it was a celebration.
Yeah.
There's a camaraderie. There's I own a piece of Apple. I own a piece of Tesla. These are people who, when the stocks go up, they get to say, I was smart enough to know that I was part of this.
Just like betting on a game.
That's exactly right. But instead of having two teams that are both professional sports teams, there are best in breed. There's best in breed in every industry.
Yes.
I mean, even companies like Exxon that has gone through, and BP that have gone through major disasters, they come out ahead.
But it's also the image. Your image, like I grew up in New Jersey, lived in Manhattan for years. For years, my dad was taking me to Barney's, but that whole lore, even about Wall Street guys, so I went to school with college, I want to go to Wall Street.
Everybody wants to be Gordon Gekko.
Yeah. But that whole thing, because the image is you're gonna make big money, dress nice, girls, the lifestyle,
dress for success, and all that stuff.
But was it like that?
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, I worked in the World Trade Center, obviously, and back in the '90s, and you couldn't even walk in the building without a jacket.
Yeah.
I mean, it was back in the day,
Yeah.
in order to be on the trading desk, right? So I was on a trading desk where we didn't see any customers. We only just traded we handled order flow for major institutions. And I literally wore a jacket and tie every single day. I literally got in the elevator, went up to my office. As soon as I got onto the trading desk, I took the jacket off, I rolled up my sleeves, I loosened my tie, but that was part of the obligation of the industry.
Yeah.
And Wall Street, like any other, if you're part of something where it's an elite class of people,
and tradition,
and there's tradition, and everybody wants to be part of it.
They want to be part of it.
Sure.
Now we've talked about a lot fantasy football, FanDuel, DraftKings, the amount of money they're spending, and now the government seems to be getting involved. Where do you think that's going? The appeal is just the money, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
For most people.
Yeah.
And it's great for the NFL.
It's great for the NFL.
Yeah. Not that they needed it.
No, but
it's like Rockefeller Center. The tree's another foot this year. Why?
It's like fantasy football. Right?
Yeah.
Fantasy football created a whole new layer
for people
of fans.
Yeah.
Right? Because now not only I'm a Jet fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Jet fan, but there have been plenty of seasons where the Jets have no shot at doing anything, and basically you're just hoping that there's a couple of good plays.
Yeah.
So now if you're a Jet fan and you have their defense on your fantasy team,
it's awesome.
Even if they don't win the game, you get to root for the Jets.
Sure. And people love that.
So,
and then there's money involved.
And there's money involved. Right.
But the question with everybody is it chance that they're saying, or is it, possibly, that you're gambling?
I can only tell you. So my opinion, having lived through the evolution of Wall Street, where it went from and there's a correlation here. Having lived through the evolution of Wall Street, where it went from human beings interacting with human beings, and the best human being won, and that was why when we were hiring for spots, and I had 3 applicants for those spots, a kid from MIT, a kid from Princeton, and a kid from Duke who played lacrosse. I'm hiring the Syracuse lacrosse player. I'm hiring the Duke athlete.
Yeah, because you think he's got that extra edge.
Because the difference is not intelligence. The difference is the ability to evolve during the play.
That's right, and be a grinder.
So the correlation here is when computers started taking over for humans, we very quickly realized that other than recognizing anomalies and really doing our research, the computer is a whole lot smarter. So with FanDuel, my problem with all of these systems, where the system is designed to create a field of play and enjoyment and chance for guys like me and you, unfortunately, as soon as there's an opportunity for a guy who understands algorithms and a guy who understands computers and technology to game that system, we're dead. So I read an article the other day that said 97.3% of the money won by FanDuel have been won victory by 1.7% of the players.
Wow.
And what does that tell me? That tells me that there's a guy with a computer who plugged all this in, who said, "What should I do?"
Yeah.
You can never beat a computer. You ever been down to Chinatown?
Yes.
You ever played tic-tac-toe against the chicken?
Yeah.
You can't beat him.
No, you lose every time.
I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works into this conversation, but it reminded me of that.
But do you think that it is being? But again, you're betting or picking on players' performance. You never know how Brady's going to do, or Peyton Manning, or who's going to have a good defense. That's where the chance element.
Right, but the difference is that where you and I might get 85% of our decision making on paper right, because we do our research. That last 15%, when you look at players that technically should outperform the opposition because they're a better player, right? I want Revis over another defenseman.
Yeah.
But if the matchup is better for a lesser player, the computer is going to recognize that without emotion.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think that if we're 97% correct, but we look at the better player in a bad matchup, the computer just looks at statistics.
That's it. That's what it
only so the edge, it's that nominal edge. It's casino, right? If I bust at blackjack, they're taking my money. And then they may bust against another player, but that's their edge. They take my money.
It's like the VIN.
That's exactly right.
They're getting something.
So I think the problem with FanDuel and the problem with DraftKings and all this stuff is that there's no way for them to monitor how much computer-driven business they're getting. And if there was a way for them to eliminate and keep the playing field level, then it would be fine. But whenever common people like you and I are going to be negatively affected by a select few that have gamed the system, the government's going to step in and shut it down.
Well, also taxes.
Right.
I mean, that's the biggest
thing.
Well,
I mean, and that was the part of it that I really never understood how they even got away with in the first place. Because it's essentially, I understand that the difference between gambling, online gaming, and FanDuel is that there's an element of skill involved.
Yes.
So they fall under the sweepstakes. I don't know what they fall under the Chuck E. Cheese rules, what they used to call it.
Yeah.
Right. So as much as I think it's cool, and I think that they should change their system to a credit system, and whoever has the most credits gets something by the sponsor, so there's an exchange for value. I think the dollars and cents of it's going to have to go away.
So you think it'll be eliminated? FanDuel and DraftKings like that, and the big payouts and stuff like that.
I think when there's
now a lot of this kicked up for that one kid who ended up coming out for whatever reason. Maybe he was planning to come out.
I think he was a show.
Yeah, that's what
I think he was a plan.
For $350,000, and all of a sudden, because I mean, supposedly these two companies spent $200 million on advertising.
On advertising already.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So you know when you do that, you're a spotlight.
And by the way, the NFL loves it. I mean, they're a huge sponsor of the NFL, and they got all the teams, you know.
Oh yeah, DraftKings had all. When I went down to the Dolphins training camp.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
You got players doing that. And to me, it just seems like now they have to stop it, but there's so many people in the red tape. Now, I don't know if they stop in mid-season. I know they've cut down on some advertising, and some people have stepped away.
Stop in season like Spurrier?
Yeah, maybe like Spurrier, yeah. Like Steve.
Hey, you know, I'm done.
Well, he ordered a whole bunch of new visors. They wouldn't give it to him, so he's like, I'm out.
I'm out of here.
He's a great coach. I like Spurrier. I like the way he won. Supposedly for years, like if you had Spurrier and you're laying 17, there's 2 minutes left, he's still throwing the rock. He always said, I play 60 minutes.
But that's it. Play to win is by as much as you can.
That's it. And that's what I like about him. He's great. I think the way he went out in the mid-season, obviously it's not a great thing. I think you always want to go out on top.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and even if you go out with a losing season, I think, and I mean, I guess we're transitioning to Spurrier because I think it's relevant, you know, to kids and to athletes. What's the message?
Yeah.
If you're not happy, quit.
Yeah. Well,
you see it through.
Yeah, I think what happened with him, there was.
You think he was pushed out?
Yes, I think there was reports in the summer. I remember hearing it from different people where some of the alumni boosters thought he was too old at 70. Could he still get the young recruits? Could he still? He did a great job at South Carolina. I mean, a great job at that school. He really did. He had only had one bad run, really. He did great at Duke. He did great at Florida. He had a bad run in the pros, but he had a great run with that.
He had a bad run in the pros because he's a player's coach, not an ego coach.
Yeah.
And he's an egomaniac. Yeah. So, but that's okay. I mean,
yeah, but he also expects
he's a father figure.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of guys can't do it. It's like anything else. You're working here, and you're seeing somebody needs a drink filled or a cigar. You go over, you want to do it. If you see somebody who does it, you get upset. Where somebody else doesn't have that tenacity and doesn't equal into success, doesn't have that.
You know, but as strong a personality as Spurrier is, you'd think that he would say to the organization, "Let me finish the season, and I'll walk away quietly."
Yeah. Well, maybe it was too much.
Or they just said, "You know what, dude, you're gone." But
what did George Steinbrenner say? Show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser. He's 2-4. He probably says, "I don't want to get this. I don't want to get beat up."
Right.
You got obligations. You got radio shows, TV things. Coach, what's wrong?
Right, but I would stand in there and say, "You want me to go and fire me?"
Yeah. Well, they're not going to do that. Because that always looks bad.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that always looks bad. That's one of the hardest things in sports, a coach, a player, how do they make the transition? The Yankees went through it with Jeter.
Yeah.
I mean, it ended well for him because he had a very good game at the end, but it's a business.
Right.
And you hope the person does the right thing. It's like going to Dunkin' Donuts and you hold the door for somebody, you hope the next guy does.
Right.
And if he does, you look at him, what do you say? You can't believe it.
Right.
Not always do people like to script. Bobby Bowden didn't want to leave.
Well.
I mean, Bobby, he would have stayed until 2035.
So that's for next week.
All right, so your Jets are playing Washington.
Jets playing Washington.
And
Can we talk about the Mets real quick? We got time to talk about
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I have a problem.
This is Game 5 tonight, as we're doing.
By the way, tonight's a huge game.
Yeah.
Do you so as a young athlete, and I know you played ball when you were a kid, and obviously a fan of sports, right?
Yeah.
Right. You know, marbles, whatever it was that you played.
Yeah, we threw dice.
Right. I forget about Game 4 for a second, because Game 4 was a pitching show against a pitching show,
Yeah.
and we knew that after Game 3 it was going to be defense. Chase Utley Tejada. Did that not change the whole dynamic of that game?
Yeah, I think for the game, but I think, again, they're playing ball. 20 years ago, that doesn't mean nothing. Pete Rose went into Bud Harrelson years ago in the championship series, and they had a fist fight at second base. It's a different game. I mean, football's the same way. You can't hit a guy today. There's a lot of different things. I think they looked for it. He did it. Now, say when he hit him, he just got up and hurt his ankle.
Right.
And he walked away. It was because he broke his leg.
Right.
So that added to it. It's like a lot of
but the part of it that I'm talking about is okay. So he never touches the bag.
No.
Obvious.
They reversed it though.
No, but they put him back on base.
Yeah, I'm saying they were wrong. At first they said he was out, but then they did the replay and they said sorry.
But hold on one second. If they would have made no call.
Yeah.
All right. Tejada's got the ball in glove, and he's literally laying all over him.
Yeah.
He's going to tag the guy out.
Yeah.
Utley walks off the field.
Yeah.
And then they say, hold on. No, come back. You can take your base. While they're taking Todd off with an air cast on. I think that the officiating made a bad call. I mean, I guess there's probably some rule in baseball.
Well, it's always been a neighborhood play, but he wasn't in a neighborhood. That's why they went to rebate and touch it. So first they called him out, then they manually challenged. They said he's safe. That's it. But I think it's also the times today. Years ago, just when guys would throw pitchers. Years ago, pitchers in the 60s, Gibson, Drysdale, they throw your head. They don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a different time. It's a great series. The Mets are playing awesome. Game 5 tonight.
What do you think?
I gotta go with the Dodgers. Tough to beat them. Home with one of their aces. It's hard. It's hard.
So I'm gonna make one prediction for tonight.
Great. And this will be on tomorrow, so you're gonna be sinking or swimming.
I predict I watch the game.
That's it. That's good.
No, I say Mets 5-3.
Wow.
I think that Cespedes shows up tonight. Mm-hmm. I think that he is probably in big contract negotiation talks with the Mets because I think he likes playing in New York. I think he likes the environment. And I think he's a much better player than people give him credit for. They say that he's a fill-in temp guy. Let me tell you something. And I'm not saying this because I know him personally. I do know him personally.
I know. I saw you have an autographed jersey.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. He's a great guy, and he's a real humble, good, solid person.
Don't you have that trophy? Did he give you that?
No. That was his home run derby trophy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the trophy, which is on our Facebook, is because I put a giant 3,000 count humidor in his house, and I took the trophy and I put it on top of the humidor. I said, "This is where this belongs."
Oh, okay.
No, but he's an incredible athlete. And I'll tell you what he's a clutch guy. Yeah. He's a clutch guy.
If the Mets didn't pick him up, they might not be there.
They wouldn't be there.
Yeah, so you think the Mets win tonight?
I think the Mets win tonight.
I'm going to take the Dodgers from my boy Johnny C. A couple of football games, and then we're going to wrap it up. Your team laying 6? You lay the 6?
Jets. Would I lay the 6?
Picking the game's easy.
It's tough to lay 6 because the Jets are designed
to score 17.
To score 17 points. Exactly right.
Yeah.
If they can score 21,
yeah.
I think the game is probably 17-14.
So you're taking Washington?
No, I'm not taking Washington. I'm taking the Jets in the under.
Jets in the under.
Right.
All right, Giants play Philly.
And I'm going to tease it down.
All right, you'll tease it down.
I'm going to sucker it.
And reverse the points.
I'm going to sucker it to pick.
Giants play the Eagles Monday night. Whew. It's a good game. Giants are hot.
Giants are hot, but they've got this.
Odell's got some problems.
They got a couple of problems. Listen, I think the Eagles are an organization in disarray. Yeah. I think that the win that they had against us was obviously because Decker was out, and we had players that were out. Mm-hmm. We're a better team.
Spoken like a real Jet fan.
Yeah.
We never lose.
But no, I think the Giants win. I think the Eagles are an organization in disarray. I think they know that they need to win this game, but the Giants also know that this is a big game for them. So I think the Giants.
And Dolphins, you said earlier you like the Dolphins.
I think who are they playing this weekend?
Tennessee Titans.
Oh, they're playing the Titans. I think the Dolphins show up for their coach. I think he has the ability to go in that locker room and say, guys, it's not a leave it all on the field. It's not a it's not a playoff game. It's a game where these guys can come in with a fresh attitude and say, you know what, we're a team. Let's play like a team. I think the Dolphins.
Bengals, they beat Buffalo. Stay undefeated.
I think they're solid.
Yeah, they're good.
They're solid.
They're a good team.
And I think Buffalo is just a sneaky little upset team. I don't think they're for real.
Yeah, I know you're not a Buffalo fan.
Yeah, I don't hate them because they're in the AFC. I just think that they're always a sneaky upset team.
Yeah. All right.
You know.
Let's go. This is Greek Podcast 1. We're gonna nail our sponsors on the way out. If you're looking at my watch, you're probably saying, Greek, that's a real crazy watch. It's a Graham watch.
Nice watch.
Yeah, look it up. Jules in Time. Go see him. Jules in Time. Always on time. We have to also thank Ryan because this is at Prime Cigar. If it wasn't for Ryan, half of the show wouldn't be here. Probably there'd be no show. We have to also, you have to mention our sponsor because you tried it.
Yeah, Posado Tequila, which these are the beautiful bottles. They're beautiful bottles.
You just can't see them. His staff drank them, which is great.
You'll see them next week. And if there's anything that they want to have us talk about, they should go on the podcast and make a comment. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, whatever you want. You can also, get in touch with me. Give me a call, Real Radio, the Penthouse, and the Locker Room, Real Radio 94.3. We really appreciate you guys listening to IR. Remember, there's no you, there's no us, and even for me to say it. Podcast 1, we're going all the way to Super Bowl. We'll be back next week. Hey!